Today we're going to be talking about Cardfight Vanguard Overdress. So I'm going to start this off by talking about the fact that the game is rotating yet again. A lot of people don't like that. I think it's fine, especially since there's an eternal format, and they've already kind of made it a little bit accessible with the announcement they've done with Overdress. With each clan, it's no longer all clans, but we'll talk about that later. So we're getting $4 starter decks, and that's really good. Really good. It makes it really accessible for everybody, and that makes the reboot not quite as impactful. So if you want to continue playing standard, just get these cheap $4 decks or $3.33 or something like that. But anyway, next we're gonna talk about the formats. A lot of you guys already know about some of this stuff, so I'm just briefly going over it. Since they're rotating again, they're adding a third format instead of just getting rid of or just rotating standard, which I don't quite understand why they need to do that, but maybe that's just me. It's gonna also make one of the formats a little bit awkward, because there's now gonna be standard, V premium, and premium. So it's V standard right now is going to be the V premium. Now that would work pretty well, I guess, but it's not actually as it seems, because they, instead of just doing V cards plus the overdress cards, they are just hard cutting out overdress cards from the V premium, which is really strange, honestly. It might make more people play premium. So far, a lot of people have been showing interest in premium, and I'm here for it. I really want premium to succeed, as it seems to be succeeding a little bit better in like the West as compared to Japan. But that's the formats. They're it's a little bit worrying how the formats will end up like panning out. Maybe one of them will get dropped or something, who knows. I'm pretty sure it's not going to be premium. Like, I know people rag on premium a lot, but if anything's going to be dropped, I hate to say it, it would be V premium. I mean, I like V premium. It just got stale at times, and haven't been able to play premium enough. But that's another story. But anyway, moving on to the next point. The ride deck. They decided to introduce a new mechanic as per every rotation or like new series or whatever. And this one is really cool. I had this idea a long time ago, but it just seems so weird and insane actually to actually exist. It just seemed like it would be so much problems, and I guess I had this idea before there was even standard. So like it was before we even had like problem like ride chains, I guess. But yeah, that's the main problem with the ride deck if they had it in all the formats. So we start out talking about the formats, and the differences is the ride deck is not going to be in any of the other formats besides the overdress standard, which is good, because it could be a big problem in premium and standard. Just bonkers ride chains and stuff. But I guess I should explain a little bit more about what the ride deck does real quickly, and my thought that I haven't seen anybody talk about it or whatever. I made a YouTube comment about it, but that's about it. So with the ride deck, you have 4 cards set aside, your 0, 1, 2, 3, and you have them aside from your deck, just like your starter normally is or whatever. except they all just go into that pile, and at the beginning of your ride phase, you can discard a card, and you can just ride one of them, which is actually really awesome. It would be a really big problem in premium though, with all the superior rides and ride chains and all of that. But the one thing I want to talk about it is that your deck size with 4 cards out of your deck, that's before you mulligan, before you draw your opening hand. So that means your deck size is 46 before drawing your opening hand. So that means that after you draw your opening hand and draw your card for turn, you'll have 40 cards left in your deck, which really kind of is kind of scary with Vanguard, to be honest, especially since of the new mechanic that they added to it. I guess I'll throw this one in here. There's the new type of trigger called the over trigger, and it's 1 per deck, limited to 1 per deck. But now that the deck size is smaller, that could be a big problem unless you draw in your opening hand. Sorry, Philip. But anyway, yeah, I watched that video of top deck heroes. Anyway, so my thought about that is that your deck size is so much smaller than normal that the possibility of getting a trigger is going to be insane. It's going to be more likely to hit a trigger than ever before, and that's not a good thing, really. From what we've seen from standard, triggers kind of swing games. That's not good, especially because the triggers are pretty much the same. The heal triggers are now 20k, I think, 15k. So every trigger is 15k, and then like the main deck units are dropped down to pretty much 5ks only. Haven't seen a single 10k yet, which is ooh. Anyway, so also moving on to my next point, I want to quickly talk about nations, and that could be interesting. That makes it much better. It's kind of so it's a much better system than clans, because everybody can get support in each set, and it won't be like let me wait a year to get my support, or over a year for how it has been for Gear Chronicle mains, although we did get a few sets after that in a row. But anyway, yeah, with all nations it just kind of works, and it also supports other so it supports premium a whole lot more frequently, which is kind of interesting, because every standard set could have been seen as a premium support set before for certain clans, and now every set's gonna pretty much support every premium deck except for Bermuda Triangle, I think. Yeah, I guess, yeah, except for Bermuda Triangle, because there's one set that we're getting this year that has the lyrical Monostalio. I think that's the name of it. Anyway, but yeah, and then also, like, for the sets themselves, at least for the first set we've seen so far, is they're going to be adding parallel foils. So that's going to make things a whole lot cheaper, because people are going to be hunting down product to get foils, cracking packs to get foils, and everything can be shiny. And rest in peace, my wallet. Yeah. Well, I'm going to talk about the some more gimmicks for a series. This is the last thing I really have to talk about for Overdress, but the Persona ride. I think it's kind of bland, but it's an improvement over Gifts, because it's not quite as abusable as Gifts. and boy, have they made the gifts abusable in the V series. But Persona Ride, turn 4 mechanic, and that's pretty much it. I think it's a lot better of like a gimmick for everybody, and everybody has it. All the 3 so far have been 13Ks, so everybody's on equal playing field, except unlike how standard was before with V, where like Force was higher base power, which is really stupid actually. But yeah, the Persona Ride's the main gimmick, and then it seems like every nation has their own gimmick. And in this portion, as of recording, the two nations haven't shown their gimmicks, or at least for the starter decks or whatever. Or one nation hasn't shown the starter deck. So I will not be talking about the starter deck for Brantgate because it hasn't been shown yet. That's going to be shown in a few days. But as of right now, we do know Overdress is a mechanic for Dragon Empire. It seems to be exclusive to Dragon Empire so far. We don't know yet. It could be for everyone, but as of right now, in the starter decks at least, it's only in the Dragon Empire one. Well, I guess we still haven't seen Brandgate, but probably not going to be in Brandgate. But the Overdress mechanic's pretty simple. It's basically just riding over your rear guards, really. You just call as you would normally call, and you place it over top. And when you place it over top, it becomes in the overdress state, and then the card under it becomes the original dress material, and that's pretty much it. And the cards get like support or are specific to overdress over top of certain cards. So far, they could generalize it to I guess the race of the card or the certain archetype of card, which would be kind of cool. Hopefully they do like races of that, so it could be more, splashable than like archetypes. But eventually, it's probably going to happen, archetype, because we already have archetypes in the form of other things like with the Blaze Maidens, and in the going into archetypes, another mechanic we've seen is Final Rush. Final Rush is actually really interesting, and that's for the Dark States trial deck. And it seems like an all-out just gonna win this turn thing, and I'm here for it. It doesn't really work out well with Gear Chronicle, and we only got one card in that deck that looks like a Gear Chronicle unit, and that's fine, because I like Spike Brothers too. So they made them look like Spike Brothers in that set, in that deck. And except some Pale Moon looking thing. But yeah, that's Final Rush, just the state that you gain before at the beginning of your turn. So far you can only obtain it from the main unit of that deck. I can't remember his name, honestly. Violent Spruce, I think so. I think that's the name of it. But yeah, he it seems like it's an all-out thing, and he restands 2 units, or restands the front row, technically. But I don't see them getting an Excel Circle or anything like that anytime soon, but who knows. Well, speaking of gimmicks, I guess I'll throw in the Order cards, because I really like them. Orders has been treated pretty much like a gimmick in Vanguard so far, even with the V series, when they introduced the order cards, they're kind of more like a gimmick than actual cards that just go in the deck. But now with the ride deck, I guess they're kind of like a whole lot better, because you don't have to worry about your deck space being clogged up and not missing a ride because you have an order or whatever, which will still happen in premium. But yeah, so far we've seen 2 of the orders, I believe. Yeah, we've seen the one for the Dark States deck. We saw that first, and it was just Soul Charge 1. That's all it does. Yeah, this is the most free order we've seen so far, so you know what? It's fine. It's either Soul Church 1 or Soul Church 2. It's whatever. Anyway, and then the one that we just saw today as of recording it's Sunburst Evolution, card that for the Dragon Empire starter deck, where you get to counterblast 1, give a unit 5k, and get your Valerina from the drop zone, which is on theme with Dragon Empire, and I'm all for it because I really like Valerina and Trickstar and unnamed Victor Jet Dragon thing, which I'm super excited for, despite it being a Dragon Empire card, because it looks like Chronojet and Victor, and with the Narukami theme to it. But you know what? That's fine. I like it. It looks really cool. I can't wait to see what's in the set. We've seen most of the starter deck so far. The two main starter decks are the ones I really am stoked for. But I do want to see the Brant Gate a lot. So far, it doesn't seem like they mix very well with premium stuff. But that's just starter decks. But we do get front triggers now for every nation, every clan in premium can use a front trigger now. So go nuts. It's not gonna be. I don't think it's gonna be that big of a deal. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes in premium. So in conclusion, I'm stoked for it. Honestly, super stoked for the reboot. Well, yes, I guess the only people that would be a little bit upset with the reboot are the ones that only play B standard right now, standard, and are a little bit bummed out because they're gonna only get like one set or 2 sets a year, just to support their V standard decks or whatever, or V premium. But if you're playing premium or you just want to play standard and find new decks, you know what? That's fine. I'm all for it. I'm playing all 3 formats. As long as I'll have friends to play it, I'll play it. And super stoked for all the formats. I guess oddly, I really want to play standard this time around just to see how it goes. Play with the whole nation thing, all nation decks, so it's not like clans restricted or all that. But also, I really want to see like all the nation stuff thrown into premium decks, see what crazy stuff we can do, and can't wait to start brewing decks with that in premium, because that's really fun. Every time support comes out, trying to find a use up for it in a premium deck is just chef's kiss. Anyway, that's all I really have to say. Bye bye.